Alright, what's up YouTube? This is Brian here at Team Widge. I'll talk to you guys about the Mermail deck a little bit here. This thing that I've been working on. It's not the standard Mermail deck for you guys that have been watching the videos. I'm at a loss here. The deck needs to be cut down to 40. And I'm going to run through the deck and you guys are probably going to have some suggestions for it. And I'm going to explain the ones that I'm pretty sure you guys will suggest of why they really can't come out. So I'm going to go through the deck real quick, and as I go through it, I'm just going to talk about the individual card. First off, 3 Megalos, 3 Tius. I feel like this is a card that you guys will suggest to cut down to 2. Targeted spot removal is far, far too good. Tius is the, I don't want to say the backbone of the deck, but it's what gives this particular build all of its consistency. Opening a single Tius, usually you will have a consistent enough opening turn or second turn to win. And that's an extremely important factor in all decks. You need consistency to win, and this guy gives it a massive amount of consistency when you open him. 3 Lindy. I'm sure there will be somebody that says cut it down to 2. You sir are an idiot. This deck plays a ridiculous amount of Mermails. You need 3 lands in this. Yes, you don't need it in regular Mermails, but this isn't Undying Diva Mermails. This is just Mermails. 2 No's. In testing, I found this card to be really, really fucking broke. This card sets up retarded plays. And it combos well with a couple other cards I'm going to be showing you here in a minute. I swapped 1 Pike out for a 2nd Nose, and it's been testing pretty well. I played with it up at a tournament today. It did pretty good. I really like the Nose. I was playing a Biscale the Cetus and comboing it with that guy, and it's pretty nutty. But I don't have Cetus in here anymore. I cut it out for a different card. Pike. 3 Marksman. I see a lot of people cutting their Marksmans down to 2. But again, this isn't your standard build, so you cannot cut down on your discard outlets. You have to have cards to discard. 3 Dragoons. 3 Heavy Infantries. Again, you cannot cut out the discard monsters. You can't do it, you need them all. And in addition, and this is one of them I want to talk to you about, 3 Maxis and 1 Effect Veiler. Now, I really don't like hand traps in the deck because they're not water monsters. As you guys probably noticed, I cut out Lead, Gunned, and Dying. With the presence of Macro and D-Fissure, they're not consistent enough to work against that kind of stuff. If Macro and D-Fissure weren't everywhere in people's main decks, no problem. They're just fine. I don't know if any of you guys have tested the deck or not, but that's a huge issue. And I know these are bad against Macro and D-Fissure, but the deck is too unresponsive. You just sit there, let your opponent do what they want to, and then based on your opening hand, you try to respond. Well, not having Undyings and Divas doesn't give you a large amount of response. But the D responses you do have are usually pretty devastating. So I've decided to include 3 Maxis and an Effect Veiler. So that's a big new addition to the deck. I really don't like playing stuff like this. I like playing decks pure. Pot of Avarice, Monster Born, Heavy Storm. I cut Salvage down to 2, which I'm not real happy with, but we will see in time. I bumped the 3rd Salvage out for a 3rd MST, because like I said, Macro D-Fissure, that stuff is rampant. So, I mean, you gotta have outs to it. You don't want to just lose every game 1. This deck's all about winning game 1 because of sideboard. So, you want to get your game 1 as consistent and winnable as possible. And for the next new addition to the deck, I found in testing is completely busted. And that's Forbidden Lance. A huge problem with the deck is you summon a Lindy, your opponent bottomlesses it. That's a huge neg on your part, because I mean you've messed up the consistency. So when playing Forbidden Lance, you can prevent things like that from being destroyed and banished. So the addition of Forbidden Lance, also with Abyss Nose and Atlantean Marksman, they combo way too well together. Not to mention your Megalos can get over everything. there's not a single relevant card right now that a Lance and a Megalo cannot get over. So that's a real strong addition. I was playing one today at the tournament, and I opened with it almost every game I played, and it was the nuts. I won almost every game with it. Just lancing their boss monster because they think I can't get over it, so I lanced their boss monster and it was gone. Then your 3 spheres, 2 torrentials. I'm not going to go over the extra deck because it's still pretty well the same as what it's been. Actually, I will go over it real quick just because. That's it on the extra deck. It hasn't really changed a whole lot, other than the fact that I took out divas and synchros. The divas don't combo well with all the level 7s, so that's why I cut them back out. I love diva. It's a synchro card. I love tuners, but in this particular deck, it's not consistent. You need the Undines and stuff like that because they're small monsters for diva to synchro with, and this deck doesn't have that. It's just boss monsters. But here's a big issue with the deck. I need to cut it down to 40. Where it's sitting at right now at 42 is consistent, but I don't see my answers frequently enough. And I know it's a very small percentage in the difference in opening hands, but I'm one of those people that believe a small difference makes a huge impact on it. I'm one of those people that do not open the nuts very often. Unless I'm playing against something that is retarded. Then I open the nuts just because I was going to win anyway. But I'm going to run back through the deck so you guys can see it again. And tell me what you guys think should be cut out. And try not to make any stupid suggestions. This is a serious thing. I know it doesn't look like a competitive deck, and that's probably because you haven't played it yet. But the deck is stupidly good. But keep in mind, the deck has to have answers to silly cards. I also want to work in a Dark Hole and 2 Mirror Forces, but I think that's going to be a little too much to try to work in all at once. But yeah, that's the deck profile. This is Brian from Team Witch. Please comment back, rate, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and I'm out.